Hello YouTube, welcome to another exciting third-person shooter game devlog. This is the first time I'm recording my voice. I just thought it would be quicker to do this than to animate text in Premiere. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I've been so busy with life in general, I've not really had much time to work on my game, but I have made some progress, which I thought I would devlog about. So I got a few things. First, I got this dynamic loading system for some of the assets, like props and structures, etc. Some of which are going to be high polygon meshes, so I want to preload them and instantiate them when the player is in their vicinity, and then discard them from memory when the player moves away. There are two types of those resources. Some of them are just elements of the environment that you can't interact with in any way, and those just get freed and loaded back up when required. But some other ones are interactive, meaning that you can blow them up or something like that. And these just get removed from the tree when you're away from them and added back in when you approach. This white sphere is an example of that type of asset. As you can see, when it gets hit by a bullet, it's set to scale up by 1 unit. And when I move away, it's removed, and when I approach it, it gets added into the tree from memory, so its status is retained. The system instantiates these assets randomly at the start of the game, so that even if you know the map, you never can tell where to look for certain things because they may have spawned at different places. So you get a slightly different experience each time you play the map. I just thought this would be a cool thing. For now, I only have 2 assets spawning like this, but you get the idea. And the map itself is divided into 9 huge chunks, all of which load up dynamically as you approach them and disappear when you move away. All 9 add up to about 16 square kilometers in real life size, which is kind of close to the size of a Fortnite map. That's more or less what I was going for. I thought it would be big enough for a level. So overall, with this system, I'm seeing 220 up to 250 frames per second fairly consistently. The other thing I worked on is guns. You can now find guns on the ground and just pick them up and use. I have created resource containers for different guns and different projectiles. The majority of the work though was spent on combat. So first of all, I added some new movements. You can now dodge bullets by jumping back or covering your head with your weapon. You can also dive roll, and whenever you do a dodging movement, the chances of you getting hit by a bullet decrease by about 50%. And the enemies can do the same to dodge your bullets. Previously they could only jump. So, overall combat is a little bit more challenging now. I've done some work to diversify the enemy's movement. Hopefully it shows. It's subtle, but it's there. Enemies will now run a bit more erratically, trying to run around you as if. There are additional animations for running left and right. So basically each enemy is calculating its direction vector towards the player, and it's using dot product to tell whether it's moving to the left of me or to the right of me or directly towards me or away from me. And it's playing the appropriate animation on that basis. Sometimes it looks like the enemy is approaching me and moving its feet backwards, but I think it may be an optical illusion. I mean, the environment is still kind of bland and empty. There really aren't any reference points, and I'm moving the player a lot and fast, and also I'm mouse looking the camera rapidly, so I think it's just the mind playing tricks on me. The other possibility is that it's because the direction vector of the enemy towards the player is calculated towards the player node and not to the camera. So, it would be okay if this was a first-person game, but I'm experiencing the world through a third-person camera, which is offset backwards and rightwards from the player. So perhaps I should try and use the camera node to calculate the direction, maybe. Anyway, that's what I've got so far. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, have a wonderful day.